Hey guys, Daniel here from Caravan Industry Victoria. I'm here with Matt Sutton, the creator and the starter of the largest caravan and camping Facebook group known as Everything Caravan and Camping. So we're going to have a chat to Matt today. He's done a lot with us over the journey and we're really appreciative of what he's done, but also what he's done for industry. We're going to have a chat to Matt about how he started his page, where it's gotten to and the growth of it and how he's managed that. And also talk about some of the things that he's learned and probably the inside knowledge that he's probably got from probably being a consumer, but now being a major part of the industry as well and what he's learned. And then what we're also going to do is talk about what he thinks will come for the future. And then to sort of wrap it up, we'll sort of show you what Matt's going to be showcasing at our virtual show as well. So obviously, Matt, thanks for joining us today and having a chat.
All right, how you going, mate? And thanks for having me.
Yeah, fantastic. This joyful time, mate, but we have to do this via Zoom and the technology and this lockdown and joyful times we're living in. But, you know, it would be great to do it face to face. And I know we've caught up many a time and had a few drinks through the journey. It would have been great to do that, but we've obviously got to do it this way. So probably to jump into it, mate. When did you start the page and why did you start it?
Started it now, I reckon, it'll be probably a good 6 years ago. We went away, we bought our first camper. We went away to Renmark and we had a lot of questions. It was a Jayco Swan camper, and you know, being a novice with a young family, we were trying to learn a few things, and so I jumped on Facebook, a few different groups I joined and asked a few questions, and a couple of them we sort of got into it. A couple of girls had the same camper as us, so I was asking questions with them, and yeah, a couple of them come back and said, oh, you know, you can't, this is not what the group's about. And I thought it was about asking questions and learning, but yeah, had a little bit of an argument with them and they booted me out. And so hence I started my own. Yeah, told the girl that I'd started this and you can ask the question here, and got the missus involved, and yeah, it just grew from there. It just was how it started, and it just kept going and going and going.
I'm sure those people are probably regretting that they didn't let you talk and have a go, you know, of what was being talked about, because the group's gone nuts, mate.
Oh, look, it was only about, you know, it was nothing untoward. It was nothing nasty.
Yeah,
it was about, you know, learning how to use my camper. That was that was what I wanted to know. So, yeah.
So you know, sort of the group's taken off, obviously, since. So it sort of escalated quickly. So did you want to sort of step through probably the initial 6 months and, you know, probably what started out as questions and queries that, you know, you sort of had to try and grow your knowledge, because, you know, particularly what we're facing now with people going to be buying new products, people need to learn, and trying to get that right information is probably key as well. So, you know, do you want to just explain that first sort of 6 months and sort of what you learned and sort of how it took off?
Yeah, that was probably one of the hardest things. It was a bit of fun to begin with. Just getting to know, you know, and learning a few things, and you know, a few people join us like, oh, this is cool, you know, it's pretty awesome, and got to meet a few people. But then it quickly, the more it grew, the more I had to get a better understanding and make sure people had the right information, and also ensure that other people were posting the right information and not dangerous stuff, not false information or leading them down the garden path, because you know, people see things and they believe things, and you know, so it was very important for me to understand what I was telling was the right thing as well. So yeah, I did a little bit of learning and make sure people were getting the right information. So, you know, that was probably one thing I was one of my rules I was quite strict on to begin with, and still am. You know, people have got to have the right information and not post dangerous stuff. No one wants to see anybody get hurt or injured, or, you know, any life-threatening injuries, or false information that could lead to something else, or, you know, hurt somebody else or companies or whatever. So
yeah,
you have to be very careful what you put out there, and
And I think, you know, probably one of the things that we've appreciated with what you do with your page, but what's pretty important with it is you focus on the positive side and not trying to get stuck into the doom and gloom of it. It's like, all right, well, how can we learn? How can we be better? And then how do we move forward, rather than trying to dwell on the situation and point fingers and all that. It's really trying to be educational and focused on to do the right thing. So how have you sort of managed that, mate? Because on social media particularly, there's obviously lots of stories and lots of things that go on. So how have you managed that?
It's a hard one because, like always, everyone's quick to bag something and they'll tell 100 people, but if it's good, they only tell one person. So,
Yeah, correct.
it was again that was another big thing that I did. I don't allow you to bag companies because that's not fair. I don't know the truth. Only they know the truth, and the company knows the truth. So 9 times out of 10, what I've seen, people get very irate very quickly and they don't give people opportunities. So, they got to go down the right path, speak to people the right way, talk to the salesman or whatever, and be nice about it. And 9 times out of 10, you'll get a good outcome. But if you're going to be nasty and abusive and everything else, then things go down a whole different path, which is not right. So yeah, look, I'm all for you grieving your errands a little bit, but don't start bagging companies because it's not fair to be naming companies. That's not what we're about. So
Yeah, exactly right. And it's probably true of everything, really, isn't it? If you treat someone the way you want to be treated, you'll get the right results. So,
yeah.
Exactly.
You just got to be careful how you handle things. So yeah.
So, I'll bring up the page now and we sort of talk through it a little bit.
Yep.
But, you're now sitting over 260 odd thousand people. How did you, at the initial stage, what was sort of, you started obviously from you create the page, and
Yep.
how quickly did it grow, mate? What was sort of some of the numbers within the sort of first 6 months, 12 months, and sort of, in terms of people in your group?
Yeah, look, I remember the first night I started it, and I had to join one person to start a group. So went down and told the missus, quick, go down and join so I can get this thing going. And
Yeah.
she added in, and I think before the end of the night, I think I had 100 members, and the next day it just kept going and going, and then I got one admin on board, and a lady offered to help me, Jan Wiggins. So she was first on and gave me a hand, and before long it was just going 500 members a day. It kept going, and that's when we separated the buy, swap, and sell to the information side of it, which is everything Caravan and Camping is the information side.
Yep.
The buy, swap, and sell of Caravan parts and gizmos is all another side of it. So we separated the 2 pages, and it just went absolutely crazy. It was just 500,000 members a day. Some days we just couldn't keep up.
You've now got 20 admins, mate. You got a lot of people to help you manage it.
Yeah, a lot of these guys have been here from very beginning, which is good, and they are a real crucial part of helping run the page. They're excellent. They're a great team to have, and they're very good. We all work pretty well together, so they know what to put up with, and
So how much time, like everyone we know, I know that you got another job, so to speak, on top of this one. How much time did it take up to manage this, mate? Obviously early on, and then you obviously knew that you had to get some help. How much time did it take up?
Oh, look, probably a lot too much in the beginning. I was on it all the time. I was in the missus arguing with me because I wasn't going to do the lawns. I was stuck on here trying to sort something out or whatever. So, put a bit of a strain for a while, but I had to manage that a bit more and get more admin. But it's still all the time. Even mates say, "Oh, did you see this? I posted it on Facebook." Nah, because most of my thing that comes up is all caravanning stuff to begin with. So I miss out on a few things, but it's all the time. And I work till 2:30 some afternoon. So in the morning. So I'm on there half the night as well. So it's a lot of time.
What I probably like, and as I'm sort of scrolling through the page here, mate, what's great, it's promoting the lifestyle, it's promoting what you do with it, and then seeking that advice and asking those questions where you need help. How should I be doing it, and all that sort of stuff. And it's really about a community helping each other, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Look, I'm still no expert. I still learn stuff off there and places to go. Somebody posts, I'm like, wow, that looks awesome. That's on the bucket list, and somebody's found something new and they put it on there. Oh, that's awesome. I think I might have to go buy one of them. It's good. It's very good for that.
Yeah, it's awesome, mate. So you mentioned before you started with a camper, and then I know you've moved on then, but I'll let you explain now what you've moved on to, and so what sort of caravans, and where are you going and what are you doing?
Yeah, well, we sold the Swan, and the missus wanted a toilet and shower, which I was sort of against, but now I've got it, I wouldn't go back. I think I'm getting older. I don't know, but we've got a a Blue Sky Monterey, which is a 22-foot van. It does us. It's great. And we've just recently bought a swag to start doing a little bit of something different as well. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
There you go. That's awesome, mate. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing that for a sec. So how's the page changed your life, mate? I know that you and I have this conversation quite frequently when we catch up, but how much does it change your life from where you started with it?
Oh, look, it's unreal. I've met some fantastic people through it. I'll tell you, I've made some really great friends. You know, I've met you guys, and you've introduced me to a lot of the industry people as well, which is great to get to know some of them. But yeah, a lot of them are, you know, some lifelong friends now. It's unbelievable who you can meet along the way, and yeah, places you see, and yeah, it's incredible. It was worth it.
Yeah, for sure. So you know, probably something that comes to my mind, and I'm sure I'll call it your fans, mate, because you're now a celebrity in the caravan industry.
I don't know about that.
When you started, and you started the page out of trying to get answers, now that you sort of, you know, started to get into the industry and you're sort of seeing how it evolves and how it operates and what it does, what are sort of some of the things that you look at probably different from then to now, and you know, what would be some of those advice to people looking from the outside about how the industry is and what it does?
Well, it's a bit of a hard one, that one. It's definitely a different look when you see both sides of it, and you know, it's a hard thing. I see the guys who sell vans and are in the industry trying to do the right thing, and most of them, they're really helpful. You know, a lot of people are happy to help you and go out of their way, and you know, it's like, I think people get upset very quickly sometimes, and they don't always are grateful for people trying to help. They only see one side of it because they're not self-centered, but they're worried about themselves, not a bigger picture. You know, it's because I couldn't get on this site and it hasn't got all the grass or whatever, and you know, it's little did they know it's for whatever reason it wasn't grassy or green, or you know, it's at the end of the day, you're still away caravan and just be happy. You know,
that's correct.
Yeah, and that goes for everyone. It's caravan parks, whether you're in a caravan park, whether you're in a shop buying a, you know, sleeping bag or whatever. It's yeah, look, everyone's got a story to tell, and
yeah,
you know, it's
it's an interesting one, and how I sort of look at the industry from when I was outside to inside now. I sort of look at it and go, the philosophy of caravan and camping, going away and enjoying life, and you know, catching up with friends and traveling with friends and meeting new people, and the yarns that you have and the beers that you have and all that sort of stuff. That's really, and probably the passion as well. I feel that that's what's inside the industry and the people that are producing those products as well. And I think, you know, I sort of look at what you said before about how you approach people, because they're passionate about what they've produced and the service and the products that they're trying to deliver to the customers, that if you come at them the wrong way, they might get their back up as well. But everyone's so passionate and enthusiastic, and I think that's one great trait of the industry. You know, sort of from what you've gone through, and obviously, you know, I know Paul has worked at shows and all that sort of stuff now, and you know, sort of seeing the other side. Do you sort of see that passion and enthusiasm within the businesses? And you know, I know you bought from the guys down at Ballerine and things like that. You know, sort of, do you see that?
Oh, definitely. You know, it's very good. I've been in different clubs over the years, and it's not as though they're the type of guys that go, oh, don't get that, mine's better, and no one bags each other. You know, it's they're not mine's bigger than yours and better than yours. It's, you know, they're all really helpful. So they're happy to promote and say, look, ours has got this and it's great because of this, but they don't go and buy that because that's no good. Ours is better. So it's very good. They're not like that, which is one good thing. You know, so that's very, very big on that. So yeah, everyone seems to get on really well, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, mate, before, you know, you've turned into a bit of celebrity on the now, and you've been on TV. That's been you doing stuff like that. So you've turned into a celebrity, mate. I think I got the video here. Oh, there's me. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago now, wasn't it?
Jumped through that stuff, and there's you, mate, back in the day talking about weights of products and stuff like that. So I probably wanted to sort of touch on the weights and the safety aspect, and you've shown a keen passion for that through the journey. So what sort of started that with you, mate?
I remember a couple of years ago, there was a copper in Victoria named Shenton, and he did something, it was over a long weekend, I think in January, And my mate Marty was sort of doing a little bit of a talk about it as well. And Graham asked me if he could post stuff up. I said, yeah, sure, mate, you know. And there wasn't a lot around. Nobody was doing anything like it. Nobody was trying to help people. It was Graham was helping. They weren't booking people. They were just giving people advice and showing them, you know, obviously if they were, you know, 400 or 500 kilos over, there's a big issue of them going down the road. So he would have had a bit more of a sterner chat with them. But I got with Marty and said, look, I reckon we, you know, try and get hold of some scales and see what we can do and try and teach people. And that's what we did. I bought a set of scales. Unfortunately, the first time I did it, the guy told me they were all calibrated and it was all good. And yeah, I found out they weren't. So a little bit before now, so I quickly told everyone and then reweighed them again. So we had them calibrated. I spent a bit more money and got them all calibrated and redid everyone again and made sure they're all good. But it was a worthwhile exercise.
Yeah.
And the second time we did it, I used the weigh bridge at work, which is calibrated weekly. So that was good. So all the road safety guys come through there, all the trucks use it, and you know, the RTA comes through there and they weigh people and caravans and, you know, firewood coming through, especially in Mount Gambier. So yeah, no, it was well worth it. I think we did 80 odd vans that day. So yeah, no, it was unbelievable. We had people come from everywhere, so it was worth it. And then I talked to Warren from What's Up Down Under, and that's when he put me on to you.
Yeah, all those years ago, and it's interesting just hearing you talk about it. It sort of goes back to the original philosophy of why you created the page and you trying to learn, but now it's then trying to educate others. And I think there's a lot of stuff that, you know, is not publicised or out there, and, you know, tips of the trade, that sort of stuff. But you know, we started collectively with yourselves doing the Caravan and RV safety inspections. I think it was 2017, it might have even been 16. And we started doing it through our shows, and we sort of expanded it from there. And it's led on to a project with Big Roads. But you know, probably from those, and you said it before, the stories are just amazing that people tell us. What are sort of some of the key takeouts from those inspections that you've learned from them? From the
Waynes and that?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, some people have just got no idea. And admittedly, before I started doing it, I had no idea. I didn't realise, you know, you just didn't realise how much of an issue it was, or, you know, I didn't matter if I was 300 kilos over. I had no idea what it meant. But yeah, when you start looking into things and you hear stories, you know, the last thing I want to do is have an accident and the van wipes out another car with a young family on the other side of the road, because that is worst case scenario. And yeah, I don't know, a lot of people couldn't live with themselves. It would be absolutely devastating. It would ruin my life, it would ruin their lives. It would just be absolutely terrible. So yeah, trying to educate people and teach them that, yeah, this is a real issue, you know, and the way you pack vans to make it unstable, it's yeah, you know, you can be carrying 2.5, 3 ton behind you, and it's a moving missile, really, if you're not handling it properly.
Yeah.
You know, and your car's not roadworthy, your van's not roadworthy. It's it can be a big issue.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you should have touched on it there perfectly. I think the products are getting heavier. We're wanting more in them. There's a lot more to buy now too, because, you know, technology and evolution. You know, you just got to be so aware of it, and it's one of those things that, you know, I look back on it in my time growing up as a kid, going away with my grandparents, and, you know, weights and all that, you wouldn't have never thought about it. You know, they were light enough to tow, and we towed trailers behind our cars, and, you know, 750 kilos, a little bit more. But when you're towing 2.5 ton to 3.5 ton, as you said, mate, there's a lot at play, and, you know, it's, as you said, it can affect your life and others. And throughout the inspections, it continues to blow my mind about how it's not known. But I think as you've done it, and, you know, I know on your booth in the show, which we'll talk about shortly, you got your weights and trying to understand the definition. There's just so many. I think that's the challenge.
Yeah, and that's another thing people don't understand, and it is hard. You know, it's a lot of people just buy a van. Some people, you know, I think a lot of the salesmen these days, they're a lot better now, because there's people are starting to ask more questions about it. Yeah. So they've got to start learning about it a bit more. Where, you know, I've heard stories where people have just been sold a van, you know, this is 10 years ago or whatever, but yeah, didn't matter, you know. And today the van, the car couldn't tow the van.
Yeah, correct.
The upgrade and everything else. So yeah, well, these days a lot of people ask more questions. You know, first thing you need to know is what sort of a vehicle you're towing it with. So, you know, sorry, you can't buy that van because you need to upgrade your car first.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Caravan guys are learning as well, which is good, and, you know, it's, yeah, everyone's learning. So
Yeah, exactly.
More aware.
One of the things that continues to sit in my mind, and we obviously got Heyman Reese on to help us with the inspections, was when they changed one link, or I think it was one link or something in your weight
Yeah.
distribution and the impact it had on your fuel economy, mate. So do you want to
Oh.
step us through that?
Yeah, look, we were coming home from the show when we were doing the weigh-in with you guys. I think it was Sandown maybe 2 years ago, I reckon it was. And Gary and Ben from Home and Reese were there, and we were bringing our van home because we were staying there for the weekend. So I thought I'll whack it on and see what it's like. And yeah, Ben adjusted it in the end, and I think he moved it down a link, down a link and adjusted it back so the hitch was towards the van more. And unbelievable! It absolutely changed the whole dynamic, the way I tow. I couldn't believe it. I reckon, and I've never got from Melbourne back to Mount Gambier, which is 450 k's on a tank of juice before, and yeah, I made it back with juice to spare. So yeah, I probably got easy another 80 to 100 k's out of it, and I could sit on 100, not a problem. Now it was unreal, absolutely unreal. The whole dynamic of towing changed it.
It's amazing just how slight changes and the impact it can have.
But again, it was the professional that did it. You know, he knew. I had no idea, so I just left it the way it was when we bought the van, and that's how it was set up. Yeah. So yeah, after Ben mucked around with it and spent a good half an hour measuring and changing things, it was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah,
well worth doing. So
cool.
Appreciated to those guys. They're awesome. So the safety days are good.
It's the critical aspect around safety. It's the connection between the car and the van, and you want to protect your investment, but also protect your family and all that as well. So all those little key things go a long way. So mate, obviously we've been in a challenged time, and for me, Victoria is still in lockdown at the moment. But what do you think the whole COVID-19 situation? What do you think it's going to do to the industry, and sort of what sort of the group been saying? What's out there?
Oh, look, I think, unfortunately, you guys in Victoria sort of copped it a bit more than everyone else, where it was locked down and no one was allowed in, no one's allowed out at the moment, and I think it's just starting to come good a bit more, which is good. I think once it gets going again, hopefully, especially with the restrictions have been able to come in and out of Australia at the moment, people will start exploring their own backyard, which is great. We haven't been out for 12 months now because we were just about to go at Easter and everything was shutting down, so we sort of cancelled it. And this is our first time next week. We're about to go out again, so looking forward to it. But looking forward to getting back into Vic too, to be honest. But I think a lot more people are starting to have a look at their own backyard, buying tents, campers, caravans, whatever, and getting out in the industry and having a look, having an explore. Australia's got some awesome places to go and see.
Oh, you're 100% right. And even just scrolling through your page and what you said before, there's places you don't even know of, and you look at those and go, they are just amazing. They are just, and why wouldn't you want to go see it? It's in our backyard. And I think, as you said, with overseas travel and all that, we've sort of seen it within industry where it's sort of going gangbusters, a lot more attention to it. But, why would you go see it? That's probably...
Yeah. And hopefully, it recovers well, the industry, because I know a lot of them have shut down. A lot of the manufacturers have been shut down because of restrictions in Victoria, and you just can't go to the shop and go, I'll go to the camping store and buy this, and this. And I for one, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people. As much as this show's going to be awesome because it's going to be online this time, virtual, something different. But still like going to have a bit of an explore and look through everything as well. So. You always tend to buy something, so I guess in one way it'll save me money, but
yeah, correct.
It's always nice to buy something and come away with it and go, oh, I can't wait to test this out. So
yeah, correct. And I think that's probably a good lead-in, mate. We sort of designed the show to scratch that itch, as you put it, and sort of it allows you to have a look at everything all in one place, and we've got exhibitors. But probably a couple of things, Matt, we want to talk about with you. We've got the Everything Caravan and Camping lounge here, which is an area where people can come in and obviously it's got the links to ours, but also your Facebook group. But we've also created a chat room, which the Everything Caravan and Camping chat room, which allows everyone to come in and have a chat between themselves and have a talk about industry, ask those questions and all that sort of stuff as well. So we created that. And then your booth, mate, is located in the motorhomes, boating and industry related booth. The hall in there. So as this sort of loads up, you've got a booth in there And probably the easiest way is if we scroll down to everything caravan and camping. You can scroll through the screen, brings up your booth, and I know you're going to probably have a play with it now and do some stuff, but you've got obviously who you are, you've got the videos, and there's some amazing videos here, mate, of some of your trips that you've done, which are just absolutely amazing. So, people can jump in there and have a look at those. You got a brochure about your weights, which we sort of talked about before. So there's a weight sheet here to help the consumers and the customers about, understanding it and putting in your weights and see how it works. You've obviously got an online shop, mate, so where people can buy some stubby holders at the moment, but I know if you click through here, it takes you through the actual store, and there's a heap of stuff here that they can get for everything caravan and camping as well. So there's a fair bit in there. They can see about you, and I know you and Paul are going to continue to have a play in the lead up to the show. So probably with that, mate, obviously just wanted to thank you again for your support and the journey, but I think what's great with us and you is our method, and what we're trying to do aligns perfectly, where we're trying to promote the industry, grow the industry, but also educate us on what we should be doing and having those positive conversations to make the industry better.
Yep. No, look, massive thanks to you and Rob for in the very beginning teaming up and doing this process, and there's stuff along the way, and I've been privileged enough for you guys have invited me to places and an industry night, award night, which was awesome at the Crown. It's to see a whole nother aspect out of shows and that of what people do and what they get up to, and it was absolutely incredible. And I was just me and Paul are absolutely forever thankful for that opportunity you guys are giving us. So
it's about. I think it goes to the mateship of the industry, mate, doesn't it? It goes. What it's all about.
No, true. Mates with you now, so it's good. It's good. Met some great people out of it, so definitely.
And get some perks, as you said, mate. Got to come to Crown and experience an industry night. I think we had 600 odd people there that night, and talking about
fantastic.
It's a night of nights where everyone gets to sort of let their hair down, but it's about promoting businesses and doing the right thing. So you sort of see that other side. So. Probably with that, mate, we'll probably wrap it up. So obviously, thanks for your time in the chat, but amazing effort with the page, and I'm sure everyone will continue to use the page and work through it and ask those questions. So I'll probably sort of wrap it up. I'll let you wrap it up. So how can they find your page, mate? That's probably the best way to say.
Oh, look, if you jump on Facebook and you look up Everything Caravan and Camping, you'll find a page and a group. So, you can join the group. It's a private group. You'll have to join it, and whatever you post in there, nobody, unless you remember, you can't see it. So, join away and, jump on our website. It's www.everythingcaravanandcamping.com.
There you go. That wraps it up well, mate. So, obviously, thanks for your time for the chat, and explain to everyone, obviously, how you started it and how it's got to today and what's something for the future. So appreciate your time.
Hopefully, keep going and meeting people along the way, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.